Sneaker Gears, my name is Levi. Today we're having a professional gears overview on Under Armour's all-new 2019 running lineup. Now, the first thing I'm excited for is, as opposed to years past, it is nice to see Under Armour give a clear path for different runners with 5 distinct shoes. As of right now, it has been kind of muddied. If you went to an Under Armour store and asked, hey, I'm looking for a running shoe, this is what I like. A lot of their shoes were really similar. There wasn't a lot of distinction. So for 2019, one, they're using their all-new hover cushioning, which I think is their first premier or elite cushioning setup that competes with anything from anybody in the industry, whether it's your Lunar and React from Nike, your Boost from Adidas. Hover foam is legit, and it's something that is very tunable, meaning you can have hover that is very plush, have hover that's bouncy, have hover that's a little more responsive and firm. It gives the engineers at Under Armour a chance to make the shoe how they want it, and it's a nice starting point, and it works really well with their Micro G and Charge cushioning setups as far as those foams. So it's a nice balance. It's similar to what Nike has done, where you have your Pegasus with full length zoom. They used to have the Zoom Elite that was 4-foot zoom, and you have something like your Zoom Windflow, which was just heel zoom, and then now they have their Nike Zoom Vomero, which is full length zoom with React foam. All these different combinations, and Under Armour has kind of taken that, learned from what they've done, learned from what athletes and runners are telling them, and have come out with a nice lineup with 5 distinct different runners. So let's get into it. All right, the first runner, and it's probably the easiest to look at, is going to be the Under Armour Hover Guardian. Now, this is really in close relation with the Hover Infinite, and I won't say Under Armour and Hover for every single shoe, but they're both similar setups. The Guardian, as it sounds like, is going to be their structured shoe, or the shoe with the most stability. It does have kind of a structure there for the pronation, or to prevent it, as well as a stronger heel cup. So if you're looking for a shoe that has a little help keeping your foot on the right path, you're going to be looking at the Guardian. Now, this is also using their full-length Max Hover cushion setup. So I think still would need a structured shoe or stability shoe that doesn't have so much cushion, but they'll get that down the road. The Infinite, again, is kind of the flagship shoe, very similar heel to toe setup, full length hover cushioning. Now, what they've done with this is it's still using a Charge carrier underneath, but it acts kind of like guardrails. So similar to what Brooks has done with the Transcend. So even though it's a neutral shoe, it is max cushioning, it is giving you a little bit of guidance there to make sure your foot is on the right path. Now, the shoe I'm most excited for is actually the Velocity 2. So obviously it's the Hover Velocity 2. This is the first time that I've seen where Under Armour has put targeted hover. Now, it is using hover in the forefoot, and as opposed to Charge, it's using Micro G in the heel and as the carrier. So I'm excited for this because Micro G has a little bit more bounce than Charge, even though Charge would be noted as having maybe a little bit more plush or responsiveness. So different feel. Velocity is going to be a totally different kind of shoe that we haven't tried before, with having that targeted forefoot, and we haven't had full length on the Infinite either. So both totally new segments and new shoes for Under Armour. But if you're looking for something a little bit more snappy, that Velocity 2 will target that kind of runner. Now, we do have the oldie but goodies of the shoes that released last year, with the Sonic 2 being an upgrade from the Sonic. Not much of an upgrade. It reminds me of what Nike did with their Metcon 3 and 4, meaning they added a little bit more cushioning to the tongue and the inner liner of the shoe, so it has a little better feel on foot, and they added a slight liner under the flat knit, so it's not so breathable, even though it's still very breathable. They're saying it's going to protect your foot a little bit better from the elements. Overall, it is going to be the same tooling on the Sonic 2. Now, the Sonic 2 last year was explained to me at the Under Armour store that it was Micro G in the forefoot and hover in the heel. I reached out to one of my contacts at Under Armour, and they said that it's full-length hover, but tuned differently. Well, based on the press material, the Sonic 2 that says it does use the same tooling as the Sonic 1, it is hover in the heel and charged in the forefoot. Now, I have run in the Sonic, and I really did enjoy it. It is more of a firm setup that absorbs the impact really well, so it allows you to run fast, but you don't feel any jar coming up your body. The The Sonic is what Nike has the Pegasus, where it's kind of your everyday runner. So if you have no idea what you're looking for, I think the Sonic was that nice base. Something a little bit faster, you're going to be moving on to maybe the Velocity. Something with a little bit more cushion, you're going to be looking at your Infinite, or what you have here obviously is the Phantom. Instead of the 2, the Phantom SE. And the reason they're calling it the SE is the Sport Edition. It does have a slightly different look to it. It's still using a speed form upper, which is the only one of the 5 that has that kind of upper. So it is going to give a little bit more support, meaning they said it is going to be a little bit better for fast workouts or speed workouts. Now the Hover Phantom, the Hover cushioning is tuned more to give you a plush ride. Now it's not quite heel to toe, but it's more like heel to the ball of your feet. And when I tried them on, I kind of did feel that, being a mid and forefoot runner, I didn't like how the Hover didn't go all the way, which is why I'm excited to try the Infinite on. But a lot of runners did like it. I think it did take off very well because casually it was a good looking shoe. This year I think it looks even better with that upper slightly modified, where it's just a good looking shoe. It is very plush, and it gives, in these 5 shoes, Under Armour a chance to, one, help their employees tell runners what they're looking for, and it does match up better. So if you're coming to the store and you have a current runner you're happy with, they odds are going to have a shoe that matches very well. For instance, if you're used to running in something like the Brooks Glycerin, which is more of a plush riding shoe, I think the Under Armour Phantom is going to be very moderate. Now, is it better? Is it worse? I'll leave a lot of my shoe reviews out there to say, okay, which shoe is better, but it's something you can definitely try. Same thing if you came to the store and you were looking for something like you run in the Asics Kayano, which is kind of their max cushion, max support, you'll be able to easily slot in and try the Guardian, which should give you similar levels of max cushion, max support. Again, I'm not going to tell you which shoe is better, but what I can tell you is, from runners who are used to running in whatever shoe they have, whether it's Nike, New Balance, or what have you, you can now try Under Armour because they're going to have a solid lineup for you to use and see if it fits what you're looking for. Now, most brand houses do have the treadmill, and a lot of the employees there, I think, are trained fairly well, and I think this lineup gives them a broad spectrum to offer more to more runners. Now, it doesn't mean they're offering a little bit of everything. I think a lot of the lineups nowadays are very, very specific, and you can really get into it. If you're looking at something from even like Brooks with their Levitate, they took the Levitate and then they have their Bedlam for structure, and now your Ricochet, where it uses a little bit less bounce back, but now it has a little bit more responsiveness. So they can really turn these 5 shoes into 10 shoes, into 20 shoes, but it's a good foundation where Under Armour is going to attack the running market with a little more well-equipped, as well as having that hover cushioning. I think is their ace in the hole, because that's a cushioning that, again, will stand up to anything from any company, where they're used to the gel from Asics, New Balance on their Fresh Foam. Hover is legit. Guys, definitely check those out. I'm looking forward to some of the reviews that you guys do. I know on YouTube, the guys that I watch are Jamie Michaels as well as Kofuzi. Those guys do a great job. I run, but I'm not a runner. I lift weights, I play basketball, and I do some running, obviously, but not enough where I'm maybe able to do a test where I can say, hey, I put 100 miles on the shoe. I'm doing more, 1 to 3 miles. I do more sprints. So obviously I'm using running shoes and I can give you guys my take, but I definitely think those guys do a much better job. But I did want to give a shout out to Under Armour because I'm really impressed with what they came out with, and I hope you guys give them a chance. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below and hit the little bell if you do want to see any new videos coming out. As always, my name is Levi with Sneaker Gears. Really appreciate you, and I'll come at you soon.